What's going on, everybody? So, I just wanted to give some of my initial thoughts after having completed my first beef set, thanks to Mike Hollow's channel that I was a part of earlier, I guess at this time yesterday. And I also want to share a few initial thoughts and impressions on Virtua Fighter 6. They kind of showed something. Well, I don't want to put it that way, but they did have like about a 50 something minute presentation. A lot of people were upset. I'm pretty sure you're going to find your favorite content creators going very deep on that. The presentation ended with them showing like, I don't know, like a 10-second something that really pissed people off, myself included. But I will speak to that later. But for right now, I want to just talk about where I stand with Tekken 8 currently. For those that have been following my channel, subscribe to the channel, members of the channel, all that, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. But I ended up, without going into really specifics, I got bodied today. Or should I say yesterday? I got bodied. I got completely destroyed. I lost to a player named Mic ATL. Calls himself Tekken House, I guess on YouTube. And I got completely destroyed. I think I lost. I don't even think I even won a round. And normally I would be very upset about this. I would feel some sort of way. I did feel disappointment. I felt disappointed in myself. And I want to explain that because I feel like this all ties into how I look at Tekken 8. And this might even apply to you. This little story, if you want to call it a story, this might actually apply to you. So I would love to hear your comments, especially if you can relate to this at all. So the day before, or say the night before, some of you that's already subscribed will know I did a pretty significant live stream. I actually titled it The Suffering. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was not trying to be funny. I was dead ass. Playing this game is especially playing it online ranked. It is suffering for me. It is. So I think I did that stream for about I think about 8 hours. I don't know how. It was a long time. So I ended up not going to sleep until like very late in the morning. Like I didn't get much sleep. Now I'm saying that not to share an excuse, because it wasn't an issue of me not being well rested for the set against Tekken House. I'm just going to refer to him as Tekken House. It was more, I was still, I had that residual anger and pissed off feeling of the amount of times, because people have seen the stream, they saw how many times I got fucked over thanks to a rage drive, same bullshit. I went from a Tekken Emperor, not that ranks really mean anything to me per se, but it's a little something. So I went from a Tekken Emperor with Raven all the way down to a Kaishin. Now, since then, I have gotten Raven back up to Tekken King, as you've probably seen Mike Hollow's stream. I'm back up to Tekken King. Whatever, but I played ranked a little bit before I played in the beef set. So, with me having this feeling of fuck it, like it is what it is, even going into the match prior to me doing my own live stream, the suffering stream, I even messaged Mike Hollow and I kind of was saying, like, I already anticipate how this is going to go, how this is going to play out. And I told another friend of mine that I played Tekken House before. I was using Steve Fox against him. In fact, it wasn't really, it wasn't, we weren't going to really originally play. He just, I think I was doing something and he appeared and we just decided to play. I forgot how it happened, but we played a few matches. I beat him a few times, but he's definitely very skilled. He is very, very skilled. He's definitely an OG like myself. But the main difference is that he has his main character. As bullshit as the character is, he has King. I am a 20 plus year Lei Wulong player. I feel that that is very relevant. I'm not trying to say that as an excuse, but that is a fact. So with me using Raven, I'm not at that level. I don't suck with Raven, but I'm not at that level. But I think what my destruction at the hands of Tekken House it like really illustrated to me was that I am very much completely over this fucking game. I that when you play people online for the most part, or at least the people I've played, a lot of them you can kind of get away with things or whatever. But Tekken House was a different player. Like I tried to a degree. I think I tried a few Aqua Spiders. If you know Raven as a character, it's like he low parried it or blocked it or something. I just felt like whatever I did in that moment, it just wasn't going to work, and it didn't work. But I also believe that for me, how I felt about the game in general, I didn't care enough to really dial in and lock in. I was really just kind of on autopilot. In fact, I honestly couldn't wait for it to be over, to be honest. And so I know that there was many people in the chat. I think it was like 500 something people. They just watched me get my ass beat, and that's fine. You know, I think I'm just over this game. I really just want Virtua Fighter 6 at this point. I want something fucking new. That's what it is. Like when I played Tekken 7, for instance, I played Tekken 7 pretty much its entire lifespan. Like I was competing in Tekken 7, going to tournaments for like the first like before leading up to Lei Wulong being released, because Lei ironically was released on my birthday 2017, which seems like such a fucking long time ago because it was so eons ago. And and then obviously after I kind of stepped away from the competitive scene, I just started to play more on Xbox, grinding for levels and ranks and such like that. But I have to say that Tekken 8 has to be my least played Tekken game. Truly. When there are just so many ridiculous mechanics in this game, so many ridiculous characters that literally just get away with anything that they want to get away with. Just the flow of the match. I've even heard Mike Hollow use the term interactions. I didn't understand what he meant by that, but it's basically like if you get hit like 2 combos, basically you're done. Like combos last too long. Rage arts are fucking bailouts. Rage drives are just like fucking glorified win buttons. And I know that there were some idiots that didn't understand that terminology, so allow me to explain. Basically, you have an attack that can do a set amount of damage that comes out very quickly for many characters. Sometimes maybe, I don't know how fast Jack 8 comes out, but I know like Law comes out at 14 frames, Jin and Heihachi comes out at 15 frames. Some characters have low hitting ones that you can't fucking react to. You have to make a hard read. You're not going to react to it. So it does a set amount of damage. Even if you block the move, it puts you in such a disadvantage on block to where all you did was you managed to not get hit by the move, but now you earned another round of guessing, because now you have to guess the next mix-up from your opponent. And then if you try to anticipate the rage drive and try to sidestep, well, I guess we all know how Tekken sidesteps are. Those shits work when they fucking want to work. Let's call a spade a spade. Tekken sidesteps are not very... I don't put much stock in them. They just literally work when they want. Sometimes I've been clipped by rage arts. I've been clipped by moves. And then the Tekken explanation is, oh, they're what's the term? They're not tracking, they're homing. So you can literally have a punch coming straight at this camera, right? And if you step left or to your right, this same punch is gonna home in on you somehow, even though it's a linear move. Whether it's a jab, whether it's an uppercut. Again, why the fuck is an electric wind God fist, basically a right-handed uppercut? Why is this linear move, okay, following me any one particular direction? Now, if you want to be honest, I would say like maybe Jin's his hook fist, because at least it's going in a different, it's traveling in a small arc. But Heihachi and Kazuya just doing this, do ya? Like, come on. So I'm just like dealing with all of the bullshit from Anna, Hwarang, Brian Fury needs fucking nerfs, King, that the bullshit I dealt with in that beef set. It's like, I guess I'm at that point where if I'm playing this game, my ability to stay tapped into this game is very, very small before I start to go into autopilot, because it's like whatever. At this point, you know what I think about whenever I am playing this game, whether I'm playing against like in a player match or a ranked match, the minute I get somebody in rage, now I feel like, oh, now this is Tekken 8, because there's a high degree of probability that my opponent is just going to activate a fucking random rage art and potentially screw me out of the win, or they're going to activate heat, right, which they could do at any time, and then do their little heat smash or whatever. But again, I got a little sidetracked. So getting back to the rage aspect, they can do rage drive or whatever the fuck, and it's just like when you suffer defeat at the hands of those mechanics, as much as I have, you know, the trolls will definitely say, oh, it's a skill issue, and you know what? Who knows? At this point, it's whatever. Because it feels like to me the only way to mitigate that is if I have pressure that I'm placing on you, and now all of a sudden you're in rage, I have to basically let you off the hook. That's what it is. I don't know if I've played another game where I'm going after my opponent and there's the possibility that I can get screwed thanks to a mechanic. Like, I don't know, maybe I've played so many fighting games. I don't know about Tekken. I know I've dealt with rage for many years and many games, but rage, you know, that was like maybe you might gain a little extra damage boost, you know, and then rage arts kind of worked a little bit differently in Tekken 7, to where you had a little bit of you had some way of baiting them out, that did not just involve you just, you know, giving up everything, just putting your controller down. So I think when I look at everything on the surface, I'm just so fucking done with the game. But I keep playing it, honestly, because I have a toxic relationship with the game. I do. I will admit that. It's a game, like, for instance, I used to play Dragon Ball FighterZ. Done. I have not played that game in years. I used to play Marvel vs. Capcom, if you can believe that. I remember I really loved it when I was playing it by myself on Sega Dreamcast, way back. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then I eventually played, you know, one of the Marvel Capcom 2 Elite players, and he absolutely destroyed me. And in watching how these games are played, I just never touched them again. But the difference with Tekken is that I've spent so many years playing Tekken. I've had so many victories, so many tournaments I've gone to. So it's hard. So it's like I want Tekken to change, but it's like a toxic relationship. It's like you don't know if it's going to change or not. And now it's like we're approaching it. I think what, the second year of Tekken, I guess. I don't really know. Maybe somebody can fucking say it in the comment, or I just don't feel like Googling it. But yeah, Tekken 8 has been out for a little while, right? And I don't see it changing. I just see it remaining the same at its core, right? The heat mechanic, the rage art shit. I don't see them doing any real difference to those moves. I don't. They're going to add new characters. Those characters are going to be broken and busted more often than not. And if the legacy characters aren't, best believe whatever guest character they're going to bring into the game, it's going to be fucking busted. And also we have Marduk to look forward to. You already know that character's going to be fucking brain rot and cancer. You also have, I know for a fact they're going to bring Bob. That character's going to be fucking stupid. So you already, like, I already know. And at this point, I feel like even if they were to bring Lei Wulong back into this game, it would provide me a shot of adrenaline for my interest in the game. Naturally, I would, you know, as a content creator, I could break them down. I could make videos on them, and that may help maybe some of you. And maybe I would even compete. Maybe I would come out of Tekken retirement and I might go to a local tournament, like maybe a Defend the North. That's kind of like the main tournament here in New York. So I might even try that and see how that plays out before I decide to go out of state. I might do that. But the game at its core, I do not believe that Namco is going to do anything significant for Tekken 8 moving forward for Season 3. Sure, they're going to address some of the bugs. They're going to maybe tweak a few things. But if I'm to look at what they did with Clive, with that one big update they did several months ago, where all they did was give Clive a slap on the wrist. If I look at what they did at the beginning of Season 2, where they gave Yoshimitsu and King, just to name a few, slaps on the wrist. I think the big thing they said with King, if I remember right, was that King, his muscle armor had more recovery frames. And the damage that he takes while he's armored up, it scales 100%. It's no longer like at a discounted value. Well, my issue with King regarding that wasn't the armor. He could have kept the armor as it was. It was the attack that comes out of the armor. All King players do is armor, armor 2, armor 2, armor 2. That is the move that needed to be addressed. Why? Because it is a safe mid-strike that basically gives him, or should I say, places him in heat. That's safe from an armor. So it's like, okay, if I'm fighting King and he does armor, and I don't have I don't have cat-like reflexes, so I'm not gonna just maybe react and grab him immediately. So if he does the armor, the mid strike, and I block it, I get nothing for it. You don't address the unbreakable grab situation that's going on with Tekken 8. Crouching grabs are unbreakable. Like, what the fuck? The down forward 2-1 bullshit from King. The fact that he can get a combo off of that strike if it lands on you under any circumstances. Whereas some other characters like Dragunov, I give the example with him, if you do his down forward 1-4 string, Dragunov can only get the combo if that kick lands on counter hit. But King, it can land on a normal hit and he's going to get a free combo, not even a tornado, a full combo. Now, King, for instance, has had a lot of these moves, since, in prior Tekkens. But the issue is, and I would raise the argument with Yoshimitsu as well, is that when you factor in heat and all of the other mechanics and the new moves he has, The fucking track star bullshit that he has where every single move is basically safe from that fucking move. When you factor in all that and you put it all together, and you are a strong player using that character, it becomes fucking insufferable. So seeing that Namco, when they do make these decisions, these changes, I do not see them making anything significant in terms of change for Tekken 8. I just don't see it. Now, will I cover Season 3? Of course. The minute Namco will come out with Season 3 patch notes, I'm going to be all over it. I'm probably going to live stream it. But I am not going to hold my breath and think, you know what? The devs are gonna like right the ship, so to speak. I don't believe that they're gonna do that. I believe it's gonna be business as usual. Why? Because Tekken 8 is being it is selling. And the thing is, I've heard people say, well, you know, if you look at Tekken on Steam, it's like 5,000 or 6,000 players. I don't think people understand how this works. Namco doesn't, they're not too hung up on how many players are playing the game. What they're looking at, which is data that is not readily available for us, is how many of those 6 or 5,000 players are how long they're playing the game for, what characters they're using, how much DLC they're buying, which DLC they're buying, because they are buying DLC. That is a fucking fact. It's just business as usual. And I get it. I look at things from a business standpoint, a gamer standpoint, and a design standpoint. And business-wise, Tekken 8 is doing well. So looking at it from that angle, if I'm Namco or the Tekken Project or whatever they call themselves, am I going to rock the boat and make changes that I don't need to make? Because no matter what the hardcore community is saying, of which I'm a part of, we're still making money. That's like Disney can put out a fucking trash Star Wars movie that we all know as a hardcore Star Wars group, that whole thing that they would, that whole Disney trilogy was complete dog shit. But it sold because the casuals bought into it. So from Disney's perspective, it's like, look, we may lose the hardcore market. We may have a lot of content creators spreading a lot of negative content toward our way. But look over here. Mad people are buying it. They're buying tickets still. So this is how I look at it from Tekken. It's like Tekken is still making money. Tekken 8, that Tekken shop. You think they're promoting that Tekken shop and nickel and diming all of us? Just like this is the plan. This is the plan. So they're making money. So from a business side, yeah, I would probably give them a B minus, right? They're not making like, Grand Theft Auto money, but I would say they have made back their money from the development costs, or maybe definitely, if it continues along this trajectory, definitely in the next 6 months to a year, I feel that Tekken 8 will make back its money in development. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. But either way, over the lifespan of Tekken 8, it's going to make serious money because we are still very new within Tekken 8. And there will be more guest characters. There will be more legacy characters. I don't know if it's going to be Lei, but they're going to be a lot more Tekken World Tours. All this stuff is going to keep going. But for me personally, looking at the core mechanics of this game, or you can even say the core identity of Tekken 8, I'm just like, I don't know if I have it in me to overcome anymore. Like a player like Tekken House, to go back to the guy that I lost to, if I really had that deep drive for Tekken, and if I had Lei, I would probably shoot for a run back. I'd probably shoot for a rematch, you know, because I actually ended up going back to the stream, you know, and I saw that a few of the people that were on a part of the event, they were running a few sets back, you know what I'm saying, like salty runbacks. I think I could have probably done that, but I think I was just so like, to me, I felt like I couldn't wait for it to be done, and it was done, and I felt how I felt, and that was it. So I guess I'm saying, I'm going back to that point to just segue to this, where in prior Tekkens, where I would fight people like Jin Master, for instance, right? Back in Tekken 4, where that bitch was absolute bullshit. Same thing with Tekken 5.0. And I would fight a player named Jin Master. Shout outs to him. I hope he's doing well. And I would have the interest, because I didn't have a problem with the game of Tekken 4 or the game of Tekken 5.0. It was just certain characters that were fucking stupid. Plus, I had Lei. So I overcame that over time, you know. But with this game, just to use this as an example, do I have that same desire? If I come across a player that beats the brakes off of me, do I really feel like, you know, dusting myself off and like, you know, leveling up and getting back in there? I don't think I do. I think I'm at the point with this game where I'm on autopilot. If I beat whoever I beat, cool. If I play against somebody that's higher, I don't think I have that urge, because I just don't like this game. I think this game is stupid. I think this game went in a completely wrong direction for the hardcore market. Like I said, Tekken 8 is making a lot of money, but I'm just not a fan. And but it's just wild that the stream I had like a little over 50 people at some point. You know, it was my biggest stream ever. And I'm greatly appreciative of that. And I feel like, you know what, I probably will stream Tekken 8 more often. I probably will. But I'm just gonna be like, whatever. I'm just going through the motions. More often than not, I'm going to be interacting with the chat. You know, which is ironically the reason why I lost so many of my ranks, where I went from Tekken Emperor down to Kaishin, because, you know, the way I have my stream set up, I don't have the chat displayed on my laptop. I'm gonna try to change that. So I typically, I'm playing the game, right? I'm looking in this direction to my big screen TV in front of me. So I'm playing the game, right? And then every now and then I'm glancing at my phone, and then I'm interacting, I'm talking, and it just takes me out the whole mode of Tekken. I end up losing to scrubs I have no business losing to. So that's basically what happened to me during that stream. But I think, yeah, moving forward, yeah, I probably will stream this game a little bit more often. And I'm just gonna just be very detached. I probably will approach playing this game from just a teaching standpoint. In fact, I don't even know if I'll even play ranked as often. I might just do this for quick match and just be like, look, this is what I'm doing with this character. Kind of do like more like an instructional, kind of like my own play-by-play commentary, where it doesn't matter if I fucking win or lose. I don't care. But Tekken 8 as a whole, I think my heart's not in it, and I'm just so looking forward to Virtua Fighter 6 at this point. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not a fan of what I watched from the Virtua Fighter developers. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a video that's going to cover that a little bit more in depth. But for now, that's all I got for you. So hopefully, if this is your first time here, thanks for checking me out. Hopefully, I may have earned your subscription, and maybe you join one of the memberships. Anyway, take care. Peace.